the economy is in trouble. Mass layoffs are hitting hard, and families are struggling to survive. Check out these eye-opening clips showing the real stories behind layoffs. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Everybody that's known me for the last 3 years, they know that I've been working in the banking industry in the fraud department. Tuesday, we got invited into a meeting and was informed that our department is going to be completely terminated. No sign of this coming. We are the highest performing site out of the 3 major cities for the department. And they basically told us, hey, this is what's happening. Y'all can either go to customer service, very bottom of the totem pole, or piss off, your job's gone, sorry about your luck. In the previous video, I told y'all that I really wanted to, focus on banking and everything if I can't make music work. This economy's tough, man. It's very tough. It's very tough to, try to do everything alone, especially if you're a single adult, car, everything. It's very hard. For the last 3 years, I've worked my ass off for this company. I've done everything they've asked me to do. I've exceeded expectations. I've done probably triple the work of, what they require. I've been overlooked on 4 different promotions over the last 2 years, 3 different departments. I'm crushed. I'm very crushed because I've worked so hard for this to, go my way, and to just be told, hey, you got to go back to square one or you're out of a job.
So I have been in the HR and talent acquisition world for well over 15 years. This job market is horrendous. And before, I thought I was always blessed for having a job. I finally got the opportunity to take a dream role. And in 3 weeks, because a CEO didn't like something a higher up did, he chose to let that person go along with everybody underneath him with no reasoning and no cause. And now there's a lot of us that are out of a job because of truly a temper tantrum. I had to sign a contract with almost a half a year notice to give them if I wanted to leave, but they didn't give me any at all.
The universe has a way of kicking you when you are already down. If you could just stay for 10 seconds, it would actually help us a ton. As I'm sure you know, we just had to repair our AC unit, which was an expense that we were not expecting. But what we were expecting even less was for my husband to come home this afternoon and tell me that he was laid off. Apparently the company is not doing well, and so they're starting to lay people off, which is incredibly unfortunate because my husband has been there for years and is loved by every single patient there. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do it, but there is something that I can do about it. Content creation is now my full-time job. I don't even have a choice anymore. We have 4 kids to think about and a baby coming next month. We don't really have time to just sit on our hands. So here I am making the best of the cards that I have been handed and showing up on TikTok yet again. And I am going to continue to show up every single day because now it is my turn to take care of my family.
For the last 4 years, my husband has worked very successfully remote from home for a large information systems company. A company that is progressive on the forward-facing side, that likes to talk about all the good that they do in the world, but they are also a growth by acquisition model. And so, at the end of April, my husband was one of at least 1,200 people per year that are laid off by this company. So all of the roles, that entire team, was either replaced by, or their jobs were sent to India. And I work 2 jobs. I'm a full-time chaplain at a hospital, and I also work as a minister part-time at a Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Oftentimes I'm working 7 days a week, and I'm exhausted. And I do not make enough to cover all of our bills. We needed him to work. And he has been applying for 6 to 7 jobs a day and has had 1 interview.
Bumble is firing 30% of their workforce. Dropbox fired 20% last year. IBM cut 9,000 jobs. JP Morgan and Chase is expecting to cut 10%. Microsoft cut 15,000 jobs. And Business Insider is cutting 21%.
I don't know who needs to hear this. I'm 62 and I am losing my job after 20 plus years with the same company. It was not in my plans, but life forced me to make a decision. Stay stuck or move on to a new path. Starting over at 62 is frightening. Getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning to go to work and coming home late evenings was even harder.
I really don't think most people in corporate America really understand what's going to happen over the next 18 months. We are seeing massive corporations continue to generate profit and continue to cut employees. This is because a lot of these organizations have become so massive. So whether they grew through acquisition or grew organically, chances are they have layers and layers of management, which they're now finding out can be cut for more efficiency.
I also had that same level of arrogance. I was making over $150,000 a year after being in my career for 13 years, was getting accolades at my job, being told that I was going to be promoted. The company was performing very well. I definitely didn't think losing my job was possible because I felt like I was so important to this company. So losing my job was not something I had even thought of, but I thought if it does happen, there's like unemployment you can collect from. Surely they have to pay me a severance. In the state of Florida, all employment is at will, meaning that a company can let me go for any reason at any time and not owe me a single thing. And that is exactly what happened. And unemployment only pays $250 a week in my state. I was bringing in cash, like $10,000 a month. This is after I was like contributing to my 401k and insurance and all those other things. So $10,000 a month to $1,000 a month doesn't equal the same. And the thing about unemployment is if you bring in 1 penny, you are not allowed to take unemployment. So because the $1,000 a month wasn't going to suffice, I started doing like rover jobs and cleaning houses while I was interviewing for other jobs that were in my field. Because I'm at a level where I am, it's not like you walk in and fill out a job application and then somebody calls you the next day for an interview. The job that I'm at now, I had 2 interviews with a recruiter that had reached out to me about the opportunity. I interviewed with a VP, the president, and then an entire panel of people that were kind of like in my field or like that I would be like working with. Background checks, reference check. I had to prepare a case study. It took me 3 months to get hired at this job, but it also took me 3 months to even find that job.
I just got laid off. I guess let's talk about it. Actually doing very okay, surprisingly. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like when you work in tech, you're always like a little bit ready. I am very surprised that I am not that sad. It was a dream job for me and I loved it and honestly thought I was really good at it. I think when it comes down to it, it is just a job. I'm going to miss the people that I worked with so much. Not only did I love my team, that is so much concealer. I worked with so many creators that I am also really gonna miss. My skin has been so bad. More than anything, I'm feeling very uneasy. The job market right now is so scary. I have literally no idea what's next for me, but I'm hopeful and just trying not to freak out yet. I have really missed making content, so prepare to be sick of me. I am gonna try to document my unemployment journey, but we'll see. But seriously, never get too attached to a specific job. I'm excited for what's next, terrified but excited. As much as this was my dream job, I thought the job I had before was also my dream job. So hopefully on to bigger and better things.
Every time I think I'm not going to get emotional, I end up getting emotional. But basically, this is my second time in the past, I think 3 years, being laid off from, honestly, somewhat of a dream job. And while I'm so incredibly grateful to be given opportunities to work in really cool industries and with really cool people, it is draining. Not only is it really draining working corporate sometimes, but working in a field that tends to have a lot of layoffs, because even when you have a job, it never really feels that secure. And the irony of it is I'm a recruiter and I have been for the last 7 years. So I literally work in hiring and I work with people who either lose their jobs or are transitioning jobs all the time. But when it happens to you, you still don't really know what to do. And even when you know that the layoff is not your fault and there's not really much you could have done, even in this last role, I was literally promoted 3 months ago, and then last Friday was my last day. So even knowing that there's nothing I could have done and getting feedback that there's nothing that I could have done, it's hard.
Basically talk about what happened. I can't say names. I don't want to exploit the company or anybody that was involved, just for legal reasons and for protection. My husband and I and another family member of ours worked at this company. It was a franchise, it was a corporate franchise, and we were on the corporate team. This company isn't like just every other corporate company where there's hundreds of, employees and you don't really know the CEO. Like, we were very close, all of us. There was only a handful of corporate employees, and we knew the CEO very well. Like, the CEO was invited to our wedding, and we did not get paid on time. We would get paid a week late, 2 weeks late. For me, I was paid even almost a month late. It was hard financially. Like, we were almost kicked out of apartments, and it was not financially stable. It was getting to the point where my husband was owed so much money and was like, when am I getting that money back? And he asked for money, and the next day he was let go. Ended up hiring him a month later, moving on to, we were still being paid late while the CEO was going on vacations, buying cars. Like, the money had to have been there and just didn't pay us on time. And it kept happening and happening and happening. Jumping to the end of May, that was our wedding, and the beginning of June, we were on our honeymoon. It was only, I would say, a week into our honeymoon. We were on PTO, and my husband got an email saying he had been let go. Didn't really give any reason, but it's very broad.
So when work slows down, people get laid off. It usually only happens to low seniority guys, but it can happen to you. With all the buyouts going on, it's obvious they want to get rid of people. And I just got word from the back that I'm going back to the warehouse. I'm gonna miss driving this truck. I'm gonna miss being an overpaid package delivery person. I'm gonna miss these fans because they never gave us AC.
I've been laid off. As a civil engineer, I was always told it's almost impossible to be laid off as a civil engineer. Well, unfortunately, within 2 years of graduating school, I've become a statistic.
I got laid off from my tech job about 3 weeks ago because of a reorganization, restructure, or so they say. And I don't want my page to become about that. However, for fun, I was looking at LinkedIn, and there was this job at a pretty prominent tech company that was hiring just a product manager. Mind you, I've been a product manager for a while now, and I've been in the industry for roughly a decade. And every company is different. How they structure their jobs, how their titles are, how their hierarchy is. Every company does things a little bit differently. However, this product manager job was, you read through it and you're like, yep, understood. And then you're like 10 plus years of experience. And it just makes me laugh because we had people at my company that I just got laid off from, senior product managers, less than 2 years of experience. It's just wild.
How much money do you make?
So right now I'm at like 33.60, and top rate is I think like 45, 46 around there.
You've heard about the UPS layoffs, right? Can you talk about that?
They sent me something in the mail saying we'll give you 10 grand taxable if you quit right now voluntarily, and it's up to you if you want to take it. I'm not going to take it.
So what do you do for work?
I'm a UPS driver. I got started about 3 years ago. It's not a bad gig. I mean, a lot of hours if you're down with that.
How many hours per day?
I'd say on average I get off about 8 o'clock, so 9:15 to 8. But yeah, good benefits, good retirement, sets you up for the future.
So today something happened. I got laid off from work. They decided to let us know that the company that I work for is shutting down officially. Apparently for a lot of people, this is not new. Like, unfortunately, there are people that have gone through this, and it's just sad that this is normal. It is not normal for me. It is new. I guess it's a new addition to my experiences, I guess. I feel like even though we kind of had the idea, we've been thinking and entertaining this possible reality for the last week and a half, but one thing is knowing that it might not happen, but the other thing is when you actually hear the news, it's not something fun for sure.
I received a comment yesterday on a post that I made yesterday about being laid off for over a year, and the comment was, you've been laid off over a year Are you trying not to work? And why can't you go down to your local store and get a job? So I made a post about over a month ago talking about how I was laid off at 50, being at the peak of my career, and thousands of you replied saying you're going through the same thing. You know, is it ageism? Is it like the market right now? What is going on? And probably a little bit of everything. I know that I've gone to apply for work at entry-level positions as an example to one company. And this has happened several times, but this one particular company said, we just don't think you'd be happy in this position, it being entry level and you're not being challenged. Well, I applied to a director position or a leader position in that same company, and they said, you know what, we're actually hiring internally. We're just hiring outside because of a survey that we're doing. So basically wasting my time. This isn't just one company. This has happened several times to me, working with recruiters, and the recruiters coming back and saying, you know what, they're putting the position on hold. So they're gonna, I don't know. It just ends up being something. I've applied to hundreds of jobs.